Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to continue in the series of Windows Server 2022 Active Directory. In this video specifically, we're going to make a tutorial about how to connect two sites. We're going to have two sites. Each site have a server. And in order to connect the two sites, we're going to use VMware. Since VMware doesn't have a real router or like packet tracer, we can drag a Cisco router. We're going to use another server for 2022 as a router. Actually, we have a manual for this, and let's get into it. So this is my manual here. We're going to have a server, Windows Server 2022. We're going to create a virtual machine. This will be our router. And here we have server SOB, which already have the domains full and run. This is our server. As you see here, we have three server or three virtual machine. The first one is server B, which is hold the domain adatum.com, and this is our IP address. Server A is not involved in this tutorial. This is just created for DHCP backup and failover. PC01 just for testing is have Windows 11. What we're going to do is we're going to create another server, and we give this network 10.0.1.2 because the one already have is 10.0.0.2/24, of course. We're going to create two VMnet for our existing server, which is default site, and this site is not created yet. We're going to create a network for it on VMware. For the third one, don't worry about it. This is just for a student to practice um, just an assignments, so you can master the site settings. And of course, we need the server for routing. Just this server, barely installed, just only for routing. So how are we going to do this one? Let's scroll. This is our settings. So the first part, we're going to create a VMnet. We already have this VMnet. I will show you how to do it. And we're going to create VMnet 2 for the another site. So we go to VMware here. Oops. Go to VMware here, and we going to edit virtual network editors. As you see, I have already VMnet 1 host only. If I click change settings, okay, if you don't have it, you just create it, okay. I will remove the DHCP because I already have the DHCP roles installed on the server B. So this is our range of IB. This is the network 10.0.0.0, which /24, this subnet mask. You can create another one by clicking add network and select VMnet 2 and put these settings here, 10.0.1.0.255. This is for the second site. All right, don't worry about these nuts. So after we finish this one, remember to remove use local DHCP. So after we are done with this part, we're going to make a VMware clone. So we're going to create a bare metal VM. We're going to install Windows 2022 Data Center Desktop Experience. You can download it from Microsoft, the Evaluation Edition. It worked for 180 days or 6 months. It's pretty good, right? So what we're going to name it SVR, which is Server C. Okay, so we're going to go here. Let me make a full screen, and we go to File, New Virtual Machine. This is the machine we are going to copy for the server, the second server in the other side, and for the router server. Okay, So we're going to click next. I will install operating system later. Of course, it's 2022. And I will rename this machine SVRSOC, and I will leave it as it is. Okay, I think I already have this path, so I will change it. I will go to my drive D. Don't worry about this one because I already created this lab before. So where's computer? Mm, this PC, yes. Drive D. I already have a folder for VMware virtual machine. All right, I will give it this name. All right. So what we need is 60 gigabyte store in virtual disk single. We go to custom hardware. Our settings for the lab, I think is 3 gigabyte, just around 3 gigabytes. And we go to the processor, 2 times 2. And for the network, you remember, we're going to select customs virtual VMnet. Uh, we don't need VMnet here actually. Leave it as NAT as it is because this is just for cloning. All right. And let's see the settings here. This is what we need: 3 gigabyte for hard disk, 60 gigabyte. We don't need to change anything else. Then we're going to install uh, um, VMware tools. I think we need to install the Windows first. After restarts and generalize, we're going to install the CD. Okay, install VMware tool, go to CD drive and click setup, restart the version. After restart, generalize Windows. So we're going to install the Windows here. So we're going to mount the CD. So we go to CD room, right? And we're going to select our source. I see my source is here, the downloaded one. Windows Server Evaluation Edition. All right. Click close and click finish. And we're going to start this machine. Start. So we're going to power on this machine by clicking this button. Remember, you click by the mouse and click anything on the keyboard at the same time. Press enter, and now our Windows. So to hold the mouse, because the mouse capture, press the left Alt and Control, and you can move the mouse. So you can screen here. This is later for installing the VMware tool. The VMware tool will enhance the screen. It can allow you to copy file from the host machine to this virtual machine. Okay, we're going to click next. Install now. And this is very important. We're going to store according to the manual, the data center edition. Okay, right? So here we're going to data center desktop experience. We don't need the core. The core is the data center without desktop experience. Okay, so click next. All right, accept the license, and of course custom. We don't have upgrade. We don't want to segment our hard disk or storage. And now we're going to wait for the installation to finish. So this is very important. As you see, after we finish this machine, in order to make a clone or copy for this machine, we need to use this command, which is we're going to make a sysprep. Sysprep is very important. It removes the security identification of the server. So when we clone this machine, we clone it without any security ID. Because the security ID, if these two servers at the same time have security ID, they will flash and they will cause a problem in our network and of course our VMware. So in order to do this one, we install the Windows, then we make the sysprep, we remove everything from the security identifier for the Windows, and then we can safely copy this machine, so we can use one for our server in locale area, which is the area 2 for the second site, and one for the routing, which is S routing, right? So let's see I think I'm going to pause for now, waiting for the installation to finish. Also, it's worthwhile to show you how our server are configured. Oh, I think on server B. So our server IP, if we go to server manager, this is server B, this is the main server, which is datum.com. If I click on the Ethernet, I click properties. So you can see which setting we have here. So you see here we have this is our IP, this is our default gateway, which is a virtual switch on VMware, and this is the DNS of the server itself pointing to itself. If we have internet, we can add, for example, Google or Cloudflare IP 11111 or Google 8888 and so on. Okay, we don't need it in this tutorial. So hop it to server C, and now restarting. It's pretty good quickly. As I said, if you want to capture the screen, to capture the mouse, click Alt Control Left, and you can move the mouse and you can grab the mouse as you want. So after the server is complete and restart, we're going to go to this direction. I say you can just make you can make this command on CMD, okay? Or you can go to this directory, C Windows System 32, Sysprep, and you click Generalize, so it will remove any identification of the Windows and out of the box experience, and you have to make shutdown, don't make restart, because the moment this Windows is restarting, is going to generate a new ID. So when we copy the machine with the ID, it will cause a problem. So it is, I will stress this, very important. You have to shut down, do not open it, you clone, after that you can open, so it will get a newer ID, all right? So we go here, we've been waiting. Of course, it's going to ask us for the basic stuff like what is the username, what is the language you suggest, of course, a password, you set in the password because this is a new window. So here, our password, for you, you don't know, our password is this one. I will show you in a minute. Yeah, this is our password. Okay, we're going to use this password for all the series. Just to remember, of course, this in real life. So click finish. We setting up, and hooray, we have the windows. So in order to make Alt Control Delete, just click these buttons here, and we're going to type out this password. Oops, writing. Also, it's very important to install VMware tools. Okay, install VMware tools so we can copy files to the machine. The screen display will be enhanced and so on. So before I'm doing the what is called the OOB or generalized Sysprep, I'm going to go ahead and install VMware tools. Go click VM, make sure you're on server C, the new one, and click install VMware tools. Right? Click this one. And a pop-up will happen here. Just double click on the pop-up and the installation will launch by itself automatically. If you feel that it's not showing up at all, just click the folder icon and go to the CD and double click on setup 64. By the way, it's going to restart the machine anyway. Okay, all right. So this VMware tool is very important. You're going to install it in every machine or VMware you create in this program. So this is very quick. It will install the VMware tools, right? And it's going to ask us to restart the machine. Okay, click finish. and yes, restart, and you see the screen is starting to change a little bit, and the warning that we have on the bottom about we have to install the VMware, it disappear completely. So now we are restarting our machine. All right, and now we go to Sysprep. So we make Sysprep. As I said, we remove any security identification associated with the Windows and make this copy clean for cloning or copying. So we're going to click here and password. Just make sure here it's password. All right, yeah, mistake here. Right. Yep. Okay. Now we go to this directory, which is C Windows System 32 Sysprep. So click on the folder. You can either make it on the CMD and type all this line, or you just open it in the graphical user interface. Okay, so it's loading. So click here. Screen is flicking, and we go to this PC. We go to C Windows System 32 SY, and we go to Sysprep SY. System preparations is very important. Double click on Sysprep, and we're going to make the default one enter system out of the box experience. Generalize, do not make reboot. I stress this, very important. Just click shutdown. Okay. Now, once the Windows will shut down, our this server is ready to copy. Why we copy this server? As I said before, we need this server to be copied. One server for working as a router and one server working as another server with these settings, and we put this server in different site. The existing server B, SOB has SBR SOB, this I think just typing mistake, will be put in Doha site, and the new server will be put on Lucille site, and of course the S routing will be as it is. It will not be fit in any of these sites because it's just a router. Okay, so we waiting for this to okay, shutting down. This is very good, very quick. Now after we do all that, Alt Control, moving the mouse, so shut down. Bye bye this machine. I will close it, and I will go back to my manual so we can make a clone. So VMware Workstation, I think yes, within this one, after sysprep, clone the PC twice. The first one will be S routing, okay, and the second one is S Locale. So we want to create two servers, right? So right click on here, just click first, then right click, go to manage and clone. Click next, what you want to clone, current state of course, create a link clone, no, create a full clone. Next, our server will be S routing. I'm going to change the directory. I have a dedicated directory. You can skip this part because I will have conflict here. So I have folder dedicated for virtual machines. So I'm going to click OK and click finish. Continue. This is the first clone. All right. And our second clone will be for S Locale DC, which is going to create another DC on Locale. Okay. So close. Wait for the server to appear. Okay, this is our server S routing. Now go again. You have to copy SVR again. Manage and clone. Next, same stuff. Create full clone. Next, so the server will be S Locale, and of course we're going to change this one for my directory I use in this machine. You don't have to do this, just accept the default if you don't have issue like me. So finish and continue. And now we have two servers. Now we don't need server SOC anymore, but don't delete it in the future. Maybe we can copy from this machine. Just make sure you don't open it at all. If you open it, it will get a new ID and it will cause a problem when we clone again, as I said. So let's progress. Now go to open the new to virtual machine and select for this select default language, accept blah blah, and for rename each machine with this correct name. Okay, so we're going to open the boss machine, open here locale, and open routing. Alt control. Our machine failed to start. Never mind. This happens sometime. I will remove it. I will make sure first that this one is working. Now I'm going to clone again. Snap manage clone. Next, next. Create full scroll. I'm going to name this which one? S routing. Okay. I will call it S routing 2. Just if I run into naming problem. Okay. Just wait for the clone to finish. So for right. So let's start this machine. This routing. So for locale one, just accept the default language and click next. Accept the license of Microsoft and type the password. Okay, the same password we use all over this lab. So now our locale machines is on. Login, type the password, and we're going to make the rename of this machine. For S routing, actually we don't need to rename anything because it's not going to join the domain, just for routing purpose. So for this machine, I'm going to change the name from the server manager. I think this should be indicated here. Make sure the server name, all right, where is the naming parts? Server manager and VMware, change name must be in server manager and VMware. So change the names here, go to local server, right? And this is locale DC. Just change, click on the name here and click on change and give it the same name. S Locale. Lusail is a beautiful city in Qatar. Okay, I advise you to visit it. Okay, don't join the domain anyway now. Okay, sometime it's going to ask us for restart. Restart later because we have another settings we're going to do. So after we changing the names, we're going to the CLDC configuration. We're going to put this IP, this subnet mask, and the gateway of the VMware as a switch. And the DNS is the first server, which is 10, which is another network. Alternative DNS, this one itself. So before we create these settings for Ethernet, you have to make sure this machine is connected to the same VMnet. Remember, when we added here two virtual networks, VMnet 1 for this network and VM2 for 0.1. So the second server is related to VMnet2. So how are we going to do so? We right click on this server, click settings, and we go to network adapter. We change it from NAT to custom VMnet2, right? This is connected to VMnet2. And remember, server B, the original server, is connected to VMnet1, just to make sure. Okay, custom VMnet1. Forget about this, not just is for internet usage. Another one. So we're going back to server, this server locale. We connect to the not connected here. We click Ethernet, click here. This is the quickest way. Right click on here, properties, and we're going to change TCP4. Remove please TCP IP6. We don't need it. We don't need any conflict. So our IP will be 10, the number back, 10, 0.1.2. This is our server. The subnet mask we use here 255 according to the manual. And here is 10.0. No, dot 1.1, right? Let me make sure. Yep. All right. This is the routing for this network. And the DNS will be our first server, which is, this is very important, 0.0.2. And alternative DNS, if it fail after replication will happen, we can use this one, 0.1 itself, okay? This one itself. So we're done with this part. I think we need to restart this machine. Now restart the machine with the new name and the new IP. And we progress in our manual. The routing machine, we're going to add two adapters. One adapter point to the VMnet1, this IP, and one adapter point to this one. We don't need to do any settings other than this. So for S routing, we do the same. We accept the language and accept the license, and we type in the password. Click finish, and now we finalize our server, right? So log in to this one. Now we are in S routing. We're going to add two network adapters, right? So now we go to server. Uh, First, we're going to close server C. We don't need it. And in S routing, we need these two adapters. So we have to right click on S routing server, click settings, and you're going to go to network adapter. You're going to create another one, add network adapters. Okay, so the first one will point to VMnet1, go to custom, point to VMnet host only, and the second one we're going to point to the other network that intended for the second site, which is locale, and the first one for Doha. So go to customs and click VMnet host only. Number 2, click OK, and it will give it some minute here. So the server, click on local server and scroll down until you see IP version 4. Click here. As you see, there is two Ethernet. Right click on the first one. As usual, we remove IP version 6. We don't need it. Double click on the first one, which is version 4. We're going to give it the first IP. We're going to point to the router or the internal switch on the VMware. So for the first network, 001, and the subnet mask is /24. That's it. Don't put anything on default gateway. This is just a router, okay? Click OK and go to the other one, properties, TCP4, and it's going to be 10.0.1.1, the other uh, part of the site. 255, 255, and click OK. And I forgot to remove IP version 6. Okay. You can rename it if you want. For example, this for site 1 and this is for site 2. This is optional, just for management purpose. Okay, pretty good. Any screenshot, please take it if asked for any screenshot. So we go into the second part of part 1, which is B. Now we're going to install the routing roles in this server. So we log into the server, we add role and features, we go to all the way to what's the name of the role? Routing. Yes, server, expand, remote, ensure that server is routing, select it, and go all the way. We're going to install the routing roles. You take a screenshot here when asked. So this is the first important part about this server. We go to tools. Actually, better to go to dashboard, add role and features, and let me increase the screen a little bit. So display settings. So make it smaller. Make it 100%. Click OK. Right. And just to make sure that the VMware installed, you see, when you say reinstall, that means already installed because we clone it from server SOC. So in Server Manager, click Next. If you add role and features and add role and features, select our server. You don't need to rename it. This is okay. We're going all the way down to routing. I think we're going to remote access. We're going to select remote access, and in there nothing here. I think nothing. Okay. Next. Just click here on the routing. Add features. We don't need the web application proxy. Next, and nothing will going to change. Just click install, and we are waiting for this role to be installed. After this role will be installed, you configure the routing by opening Server Manager and opening the routing and remote access, and we're going to configure and enable the routing. Okay, and you take your screenshot. Then our server will work as router. This is very important because I saw many tutorials on YouTube. They having difficulty connecting sites. So hopefully this will address this problem. So we're going to wait for this role to finish. We're going to pause our video. So our role are finished now, and we're going to click close. You can click this flag, or it's better to go here, tools. Let me click the flag here. Open this wizard here, or you go to tools and you go to routing and remote access. Here what we're going to do, we enable and configure this one. So scroll, open all these three, and right click on the server name and configure and enable. Next, because we're going to do LAN, we're going to click customs configuration. We don't use VPN at this moment, or not. Click next and select LAN routing. This is what we need. If you're instructed to take a screenshot, please take it. Next, and finish. And now let the magic begin. Start the service, click start the service. Yes, yes, please. Okay, after we enable and configure, select the LAN routing and verify if it's enabled. We click on the static or generic routes, and we have to see both of this network on the routing. And this troubleshoot I will show you in a minute. All right, now scroll to IP version 4, click on General, and this is what we want to see here. Site 1, this is IP, and site 2, this is IP. So different network connected successfully. Now, rest assured that this will work. If you don't see these two IP address and you saw just general DHCP IP here, random one, your problem will be sometime VMware will make a bridge with the host machine. So you open the host machine, this one, and go to control panel. Okay, the host machine, remember the Windows you are working is, and go to network and sharing centers and click on change adapter settings, and you will see two network here, call it VMnet1 and VMnet2. You have to disable them. Okay, disable them if you have a problem with that one, and then go back and refresh uh, this one, and we'll see catch this IP address. So we're done with this part. Our router is ready. And step 6, you have to disable the firewall because this is just for demonstration. We don't have a real router. Stop all the firewall in this server, routing one. So we're going to write firewall, click this one, Windows Firewall, and click Windows Defender Firewall Properties, and turn this off for domain, for uh, private, for public. Okay, I think it's done. So off, 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 off. The three off. Click apply, click OK. We are done with this part. So after our router, our firewall is done, turned off. This is just for instruction. Now we're going to test, we're going to ping from server B, the other server at locale, which is 10.0.1.2. Remember, server B is 10.0.0.2. We're going to ping the other side 10.0.1.2, right? So let's get into it. So we're going to close the routing, and we're going to open CMD. I'm going to ping. Uh, Actually, we're going to do it in server B. Oh, server B. Log into server B. Oops, it's not writing. And make sure that locale is open also. Okay, locale is open and server B is open. You can select do you want to allow this PC to discover? Never mind. No, thank you. All right, now we're going to open CMD and we're going to ping from server B. We're going to ping locale 1, which is ping 10.0.1.2. So if there is any problem with the ping, then we have a problem either in S routing or locale. So we're going to locale, we're going to troubleshoot. We're going to make sure that in locale the IP are correct, IP settings. So 10.0.1.2, and it's pointing to this one, and this IP, this is all correct. I'm going to make sure again that I'm pointing to VMnet 2. This should be, locale should be pointing to VMnet 2. Yes, correct. And we're going to make sure that server B is at VMnet 1. Okay, this is how we troubleshoot. Sometime we need to restart, yes, VMnet 1. And on server routing, we have one pointing at VMnet 1, one pointing at VMnet 2. Yes, correct. So at this moment, we're going to restart this machine. Sometime the roles will work only after we restarting the routing machine. So I'm going to cancel Control C. I'm canceling the ping. I'm waiting for server S to come alive. Okay, so this is very important. This is how we troubleshoot. The ping is allow us to know if our routing role is working, uh, all the settings for the network adapter are correct, and don't forget the settings related to VMware as I showed you a moment ago. Okay, so now restart it successfully, and we type in our password. Okay, okay. So I'm going to do the same command again. 10 dots. Let me ping it is on gateway. Okay, okay, okay. Going to ping 10.0.1.1. So it's not pinging, it is on switch 10.0.1.0. Let me make sure my settings are correct here. Virtual networks 10.0.1.0. This is network is correct for VM network. So let me open the router here, open the tools, and maybe I can restart. Let me ping from here also. So I'm going to type cmd. Let's see where the problem at. Ping 10.0.1.1, which is in gateway. Okay, this is correct. Now let's ping 10.1.0.1, the other gateway. So if it's not connecting, this is our problem would be here in the S routing. So open routing and remote access, and I'm going to refresh. Site 1 is 10.0.0.1 and site 2 10.0. Yes, everything is correct here. I hope that there is no any issue. I'm going to open the control panel, or I just open the, let's say here, local server. I'm going to select this one. Let's make sure that all is doing correct. Just a minute. So I went to Losale and SVR. Just a minute, another call. Right, just a minute. So what I did, I just restarted the machine, and when I restarted this server, I found a lot of services here. You will see a red flag with a red color. You click on services, and you're going to right click on every service here and click start. Also, another remedy I did is I just disabled this one, I enabled again, and I selected the same stuff, LAN routing. So now from server B, I'm going to ping again, right? So I'm going to ping the other server, which is 10.0.1.2. Now I'm going to reply. This is work. I'm going to do the same from here's this server. I'm going to ping server B, and now we're going to reply. So our S routing is working fine, and we thank this S routing server and we say goodbye to him. Do not close this server. Okay. So let's progress with our network. So this is successful. Put any ping here on the device. Now we're going to the sites. We add locale, uh, slocale to a datum.com domain, and after we add it to the domain, we make it as another domain controller by installing Active Directory remote service. So we're going to server locale DC. We're going to add this to the domain the regular way. I'm just clicking where group on the server manager. I'm going to change and click in domain. Now I can click adatom.com, which will, or whatever your server, your domain is, adatom.com. All right. Going to ask us for administrator. Change out, by the way. This should be changed for security reason, but for now, let's continue. So we're waiting for the message of confirmation of joining the domain. Then we're going to install Active Directory domain service. So we can create item in Active Directory in locale, it will appear on server B. And we create another thing on server B, will appear on locale. This is due to replication between Active Directory, between domain controller. So this is the first step. We add the domain controller, still loading. Yes, this is a confirmation message, and we click close, and it is wiser to restart now. Restart our machine. So where were we? It's here, and we're going to add role and features, Active Directory domain services, and we type in our password, restart the machine. After installation, click promote this server. Actually, I did the reverse. The reverse is better, you know. You do this part first, then you install the Active Directory domain server. Then we go into server B and we create the sites. So our server locale started. Click our password. All right. And we're going to install Active Directory domain services. Just confirmation, this server is now part of our adatom.com domains. So we're going to install the Active Directory just from dashboard better, add role and features, right? Okay, click next, next, next. Active Directory domain services. Select this one. So this will be another domain controller we can replicate from the main server, and it can replicate to the other server. So click next. We don't have anything to do, just all default values. We're going to wait for this installation to finish. I'm going to pause the video as usual, and we're coming back again, right? During this part, during this time actually, we can go hop to server B, and we can create the site stuff. Okay, so I'm going to create a new site, call it Locale, and one is Doha. Okay, so I'm going to server B, waiting for this server to finish, and we go into tools, Active Directory sites and services. Okay, right, I don't need this one. So we are waiting. Here Locale is still installing the Active Directory domain services. Server B, we are waiting for the sites console to open. Yes, this is the sites. So this is how our sites, our first site is default site. As you can see, we have server B. Don't worry about server A. Server A is already offline now, but from previous part. So we're going to create new sites. We're going to sites. We're going to create new sites. Okay. The first site will be um, Doha. Okay. And the other site, we have another site. Because I don't have a link, if you have a default link, just select the default link. I think I deleted the default link. And the other one is Locale. Now our site are created. Okay, we don't have any server here or link. For the site link, we're going to this IP, and we're going to create, let's go with the manual so you will not get lost here. So on server B, open Active Directory site and services, and create new site. in Active Directory site, assign uh, Active Directory site, assign this IP for Doha and this for Lucille, because we have to create the subnet first. Okay, so we have to create the subnetting for both. So go to subnet here and create new subnet. The first one is 10.0.0.0/24, and this will be our Doha site. Click OK, create another one, new subnet, and we're going to create the other one, 10.0.1.0/24. Okay, and this is for Lucille. Now we created the subnet and we need to connect uh, these sites. So in server B open Active Directory, create these sites associated with this within this part by right click subnet, new subnet. Yes, this is how we did it. Yes, new sites. This is just for instruction. And now drag server B and server A from default to Doha and Lucille DC to Lucille. So how are we going to create this one? First, I have to refresh. Lucille sites is not showing yet. Okay, I'm going to refresh. It will come in a time, maybe after restart, maybe. So we click close here, click services, right click, don't need it, just to make sure. Now we promote this server to domain controller. Okay, we promote, um, this is, the previous part. So we're going to add a domain controller to existing domain. So adatum.com and current users, you must supply username. So we're going to click administrator. We are in Lucille one, okay? And this is our password. Sorry, this video is very long. I wish if I can create parts of this video. Let's click next. Now it's going to make this one as domain controller, additional domain controller to server B, which is related to adatum.com, and going to instruct us to write a password for the Active Directory. Okay, this site will be Lucille. Okay, and now we create password and here password. So the Windows detected this by itself through the replication process. This is the same password we do for all. Next, no delegation, click next. Replicate from where? From server B. We want to replicate, let's say replicate from any domain controller, because if server A is also on, it can replicate from any domain controller. All right, this is the default, and next, and the service now start to replicate. So let's go back to our manual. After all that, we're going to drag the server to the corresponding one and take a screenshot after you do that. So we go here to refresh. We are waiting for, click here, refresh, and go to default sites, server. It's not showing yet. It will come in a minute, don't worry. Oh, in Lucille actually, you'll find it here in Lucille. Not shown yet. Also, we have to create a link. What is the part of the creating the link? No, the link after the server is showing in here. So click install. Still waiting. Uh, that's why it didn't appear in our server B sites, because it's still installing the domain controller process. So we waiting for this one. If you don't see any red color, there is no problem. This is just normal replication issue. And now I can start any servers that stop here. So waiting for confirmation message that this role has been ended. Okay, so in server B we keep refreshing by clicking locale. We are waiting for locale to come here. Okay, this is our subnet, and for the link, okay, let's see what's going on here. Still install. So I'm going to pause. Maybe this is a lengthy process. So I'm going to pause the video for a little bit. So our server now is appearing here after a quick refresh. So Locale appear in the same place that we want to be. Now, as I told you, we're going to drag server B to Doha. Click yes, and we drag server A if you have it to Doha also. And we don't need default site link anymore. You can delete it. Okay, click yes, and now we're going to create the link. All right, now we're going to create new sites link from Doha to Lusail, and we configure the cost of 20 and replicate every 120 minutes. Okay, so we're going to go to IP, internet IP. I want to show you some tips here, or just some explanation about this one. Okay, so for the IP, there is a two link protocol that we can connect two sites together, either by IP or SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. The SMTP is only for very slow network where replication between the two sites have a slow connection. It will send it as like an email message through this protocol. And this is send just the replication data without waiting for reply. But IB waiting for reply and a little bit faster than the replication between site, which call it intra-site, inter-site, okay, inter-site. Inter-site between site and site, and intra-site is among the site. Remember, the time for replication between server between intra-site, which is the same site, is about 5 minutes, or according to if we did any trigger, okay, like replicate now or write any command of replication. The replication between inter-site, the default I think is 150 minutes. We can change that. That's what we're going to do right now. Okay. So we go into IP. We're going to create new site link, and of course we're going to submit. Is it Doha to Lusail or Lusail to Doha? Think Lusail to Doha. You can write any name, and of course only we have Doha and Lusail. If you have additional, we can add here. Okay. So this is our link. Right click here, properties. Now we can change the replication time, which is 120 minutes. Okay, 180 minutes. This is what I said. It's 120 minutes. And for the cost, it's the priority. If we have different link, this is actually tell us, the cost is tell us what is the priority of going through that link. So it's here 20. If we have another link, we can make it more, which is become less favorable route for replication. So the higher the numbers, the least routing way that can replication done. The lower the value, the lower the value, is the priority is higher. Okay, and so on. So click, take your screenshot and click apply. By the way, you can make a schedules. What time during the day the replication can happen, what time it cannot happen, and so on. But I'm going not to change that one. Cancel and click OK. Take your screenshot if instructed. So now we done with this part. At this point, restart Dawha and Locale server, and we're going to make replication testing. We're going to create a new user account. We name it test on server B, and we trigger the replication by writing this command. All right. So we go into server B. We go into Active Directory, active, or we can just open it from here. Tools, Active Directory, Users and Computers. We're going to create any username. We're going to make sure that this username will be replicated in server in Locale. So let's go to, let's say, HR. I have this one. I'm going to create a new user. I will call this user user, for example, 01, and the login is user 01 also. Click next, and the password, same password we do every time. We are not going to log in with this user, just for testing if this object can appear in the other sites. So user cannot change password, user must change, we don't need all that. Just next, click finish. So we created the user here. Now we want to trigger the what's called the replication process. If the trigger is not going to happen, just restart the server. So write rep admin sync all adb. Click enter. Now sync in all the server B starting partition plus just waiting for this to happen. If it's worked fine, we don't need to restart, but that's pretty it. Also, sometime we can replicate through the server here. For example, we have from server B created this one. We go to the NTDS, which is the database for the sites, and replicate configuration from the selected DC, or replicate configuration to selected DC. Okay, so we can do here in Locale, right click, and sorry, we open the tree here, right click, replicate configuration to selected DC. The following error occurred. Okay, because sometime we need to restart. So let's go to here. We check if we can see our item here, our user, new user, user 01. Yes, wasn't successful because the server was off for some reason. You know VMware sometime it causes troubles. Our screen is very tiny here. Oh my god. So I'm going to do the same again. Replicate configuration to selected DC. Right? Okay. So we're going to open Active Directory to Active Directory users and computers. Actually stated in the menu that we have to restart. We're going to Add Atoms, we're going to HCR. You see user 01 now appear in Locale also, because this is the same Active Directory. Please take a screenshot here, so the first part is successful. Now let's go to the other part. On Locale, uh, to verify a user account, replicate, opening Active Directory, take a screenshot, the user account in both, okay? So we can see that you created in server B and appear in Locale. Now go to Locale and create a new OU, call it test OU, and take a screenshot. Now go into server B and check if you can see it there. Also, the same stuff we can make from Locale this command. So in Locale, and while we are in Active Directory, we're going to create a new OU inside adatom.com, create new organizational unit. Where organizational units? Okay, and I'm going to test OU because I already have done this part for. I just write 01. Okay, this OU 01. All right, now create it. Open Active Directory sites or just open the CMD. run it as administrator and type this, and now going to replicate. Okay, so what happened here in this command? So it will take a while, and also we can open the Active Directory site here in Locale. We can make the replication from this site. So we open Locale server, the database. Actually, we don't have this option here. Let's go to Doha. Because this is a member type, replicate configuration to selected DC. Okay, success. So I'm going to server B, go open Active Directory. Let's refresh, and still don't see the test OU 01. Sometime it take time. Um, test. Okay, let's open the Active Directory sites here in server B, and we go into Lucille, and we select replicate configuration from the selected DC. I think we're having an issue here. Control C. I don't want to troubleshoot that one. Okay. Sometime restart will trigger the replication. Okay. Um, so in server B, open Active Directory. Let's refresh again. So in order to make sure that the trigger will happen, I'm going to restart this server as instructed on the manual. Restart this server. Okay, it's very important. Never mind, I can restart also this one. You don't need to restart the routing servers. Routing server just for routing, obviously. I restarted the both machine. I want to make sure that I can see the test OU. In the real environment, we just troubleshoot the replication. Of course, we are not going to restart the server. But for the sake of this manual, we're going to just restart. After we finish that one, you have this assignment to create a new site called Al-Khor, and this is different area with different IP. You go through the whole process again and just modify what is needed here. Okay, so this is the end of the lab manual, and just want to confirm that we can see our test OU on server B, of course, because we created on Locale, and it should appear on server B, which is in Doha. Okay. Because we have site settings and replication, the restarting times will get longer and longer. That's why. So one way to troubleshoot this issue is to open server B, okay, actually Locale, and go to here on the sites, and as I can see, only server A. So I'm going to create new Active Directory domain service connection, and click on server B, and click OK. Right? It's not showing here. So now I can replicate now. I can click here. I can click replicate now. It will take a while. So in server B, I'm going to refresh, and no, 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 no. So we go here. This is automatically generated, and just go here and replicate now. The following error occurs: the disruption recognize context from server B as the renaming context is process of removed or not. Okay, let's add new connection, and um, yes, server B actually. So here, I'm going to refresh. Replication process sometime it cause an issue, and in this one, I'm going to just troubleshoot and come back again. Okay. So how I help solving this issue? I done this part. I went to locale and open sites, go to server B and create new connection, new Active Directory domain services. Just select server B here. This is was the issue. And after you select server B, click replicate now. And now we go to server B. If you refresh, now you can see test01 appear here. This is obviously how we troubleshoot the sites. Okay, I hope this video is helpful for you, and I will see you inshallah on the next lesson. That's next lesson will be uh, for the lab. Next lab will be Active Directory certificate service. This will be a very long lab, so I appreciate it. Appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.